Florida is passing a anti-theft piece of legislation that is supposed to be preventing criminals, or at least it's going to be deterring criminals from stealing things from retailers. We have had a huge problem in the United States where people, especially in California or New York, are going into stores and taking whatever they want and leaving without paying for it. And their penalty or their punishment for stealing and for theft, absolutely nothing, because there are certain dollar thresholds where if you don't steal $500 worth of stuff, then you cannot be reported. If you don't steal, in some states it's higher, right? So we have massive increases in criminal activity. But not just that, you see stores shutting down. You see actual locations having to be shut down in certain cities because there's too much crime, there's too much theft, and then these retailers cannot do anything about it. So I don't know how this was ever even a thing. I don't know why we even went down this road. You know, I was never really worried about it too much because I live in Florida, where we just passed a new law that is going to increase penalties and punishments for theft in retail. There are certain conditions where the penalties get worse and worse, but the fines are going to go up. So what they were thinking about doing is, for people who steal things, right, you obviously have hefty penalties and hefty fines, but it also depends on how many people were you with, right? Were you with a group of people? You know, you've seen those videos going around online, those viral videos where people rush into the Apple store and just start taking a bunch of stuff and leaving in a big group of 10, 20 people where it's overwhelming. You know, no way the employees can do anything about that. And so they just come in as a mob, take all this stuff and leave. Nobody can do anything. So when you have more than 5 people in Florida now, you go to steal something, it now becomes a felony, okay? It also becomes a felony if you are organizing any of these types of crimes on social media. So a lot of times you have people on Facebook, you have people on Twitter that are organizing groups to go, I guess, conduct these theft raids and these product raids from these retailers. But like I said, you know, the real effects isn't so much the fact that these companies are losing money per se. It's that because they're losing money, these locations are getting shut down and communities are being affected, right? So you see pharmacies that are closing down and people lose access to prescription medication. Now, are there other pharmacies? Yes, but this is a trend that is going in the wrong direction. You see, if this continues to happen, we have more and more shutdowns. We are not going to have any stores, right? And in addition to that, who really wants to go to a store and ask somebody to unlock the toothpaste? I mean, seriously, this is just crazy. It's ridiculous. I think it's gone on long enough. I think that's what everybody in Florida has been thinking, which is why this law was, this legislation was signed into law just in the last 24 hours. So this is a huge win for Florida, but also a huge win for communities overall, because like I said, when we don't have to shut down the stores because they're losing too much money and it's not profitable for them to operate, then we get the benefit of the products that they sell, right? People forget that these companies, they're not just volunteers. They're not just doing this for fun. They're doing it for profit. They're doing it to make money. And a lot of people think that money is evil and capitalism is evil. No, capitalism and money is good. Profits as an incentive to produce valuable goods and services for the community is good. It's overall benefits everybody who's able to buy those goods and services that are needed, and they are goods and services that people are demanding. But if there's a cutoff of the supply of the things that people are demanding and people need, then you have a huge issue. Also, on top of that, when you have stores shutting down, more people are going to go to the other stores and prices are likely to go up because there's so much more demand, so much less supply, and it pressures prices back up. And this goes back into the inflation stuff that I've been talking to you guys about. And this is why we're in such a big predicament, because we are now getting to the point where we see GDP slowing. We know that economic activity is now starting to also slow and it's getting worse and worse. So our biggest concern now is, are we going to go into a recession? You know, is the Fed flipping the script from we have a strong economy and we're going to go for a soft landing? You know, the Fed is basically canceling the soft landing. They're basically saying we're going to keep the rates right where they are. We're not changing them until inflation goes lower. But how can inflation go lower if stores are shutting down and prices are going up not people are not going to McDonald's anymore. People are not going to Starbucks anymore because it's too expensive, right? These are bad signs, guys. And these are signs that we usually see before recessions. And I think that's where, when we go into recession, you'll see lots of stocks tanking and taking a hit. So this is why we got to be positioned correctly. I mean, if you guys are new, you don't have a lot of prior knowledge or experience when it comes to stocks or investing, I definitely recommend you join my investing club. You have a link in the description down below, but also just follow my page. It's very informative. I'm going to give you guys tons of updates and insights as well. So you can always stay tuned here as well. But the investment club is where you guys get all my trades, see all the stuff I'm investing into, and you'll have direct access one-on-one to me as well. So this is not a good sign, guys, but hey, at least we got a big win in Florida with that new law. And I hope you guys enjoyed the video. See you on the next one.